Hawkman issue 2 sees Carter Hall dive into his history of his life and remember his time as Prince Khufu and how the mysterious nth metal from the crashed ship in Egypt gave him and Shaira the ability to fly. Along with the metal came violent visions of a winged figure, and that caused Carter to build a temple to try and decipher what these visions meant. Writing in his journal, Carter says that he's been reincarnated all across time and space, and the one constant was that winged figure. Finishing up his entry, he heads to the front of the subway car talking with the driver, one of his friends named Gertie. Gertie is happy to help Carter in his mission thanks to him saving her ancestors at the Battle of Waterloo. Carter's friend imparts some wise words on time and how it flows like a river, and no matter if you hit the side of the river, you always get to where you're going. Carter doesn't think that's so, since he doesn't even know where he's been. Arriving at the British Museum, Carter finds the Horus exhibit, which was the temple he built while he was Khufu. Carter meets with the curator of the museum, who shows him around the exhibit, and Carter voices his new theory, that the statue isn't actually Horus, but something or someone else. The curator thinks that's silly, but Carter is pressed for time and hopes that the museum has found anything else the anonymous benefactor who catalogued the temple forgot to store. The curator gives Carter a moment to look over the temple as he fetches his notes, and while looking at the statue, Carter is overcome by something which transforms him into his Hawkman armor and teleports him to ancient Egypt. He is immediately set upon by temple guards, but manages to break free and fly off. The attack doesn't stop as Khufu races after him, thinking him to be the winged being from the temple. Carter ends up fighting the past version of himself, and he tries to reason with him, but Khufu only wants to fight. Carter doesn't back down, matching Khufu blow for blow, and he tries to tell Khufu during the fight that the winged being is on its way in his time, and he needs his help to stop it. He manages to remember one ancient word that gets Khufu to stop attacking, but Carter doesn't know what the word means or where he heard it. Khufu says that he drew a map which he hid in one of the temple columns, and the word Carter said references that. Carter is suddenly pulled back into the present and doesn't waste any time finding the wrapped up map inside the column. Carter has to leave the museum quickly as the curator returns and sees him as Hawkman stealing from the exhibit. Away from the museum, Carter looks at the map, which is on a small staff. Deciphering the hieroglyphics, it points him to a place he has never visited, or at least never thinks he has, Dinosaur Island. Hawkman issue 2 continued Carter's journey of discovery by putting himself in battle with his past self in order to discover more about the visions he is having. I love the book is kinda like an Indiana Jones adventure serial. Carter even dresses like Indiana Jones for a little bit of this issue. Robert Venditti is telling a story that's really great for new readers and also expanding on some of the things we already know about Hawkman and even incorporating stuff we saw in Dark Knight's Metal. And the resulting story is an action-packed adventure through time. The interesting thing is as well, we haven't really had a central villain outside of this winged being. There's been no, actual on the ground villain to go up against Hawkman, which I think is really cool. And admittedly, Hawkman doesn't really actually have a rogues gallery outside of a couple of more notable people like Vandal Savage, who he only really recently fights. But I'm very much interested to see if there is an actual villain that appears in this book, or whether we're just going to get really cool adventures through time and this winged being revealed to be some type of hawk god or something. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my newest video. If you enjoyed it, you might also like to check out my other reviews here on my channel. You can also follow me on various social media platforms like Twitter by searching Matt_FOS, or even join the Comic Multiverse Discord server and chat with other comic book fans, including myself and Joel from Cape Joel. Want cheap comics and trades? Head over to the book depository with the link in the description to get the cheapest trades and comics around, along with free shipping anywhere in the world. Until next time, this has been Matt of the Fortress of Solitude. Thank you so much for watching.